Hello beautiful beings, and welcome back to the realm of inspiration. In today's video we are connecting to fire with support from the Salamanders. So this is our inner fire, but also the physical fire energy of cleansing, cleansing fires, cleansing lights, and all of those things. So connecting to the frequency of fire in the physical realm, and in the cosmic realm, the cosmic heat frequency, and our inner fire, all with support from the Salamanders. And I will say, I'm just going to have a note that my throat chakra is going through some clearing right now, because I've been doing a lot of communicating, and I have been called to connect to peaches. So I have like fresh peach juice, which is a little bit different than I normally would like orange juice or something. So I have like fresh peach juice to kind of help. But one thing to note, some throat chakra upgrades. Not trying to make it look like I'm advertising anything. Okay, so collective throat chakra upgrade is occurring right now, and I am feeling it. So drink some peach juice, bring in some peaches, because apparently that helps. So we are going to call on the Elfian Animal Healers of the Salamanders to come forth and give us some guidance on their connection to the fire frequency, and what infinite, divine, eternal wisdom do they have to share with us, their ancient messages to guide us forth. So we are safe and protected. We are surrounded by divine light and love. We're having our guardian angels in this space to ensure that all messages that come through today are for our highest good, what we need to know, not what we want to hear, to help us on our collective ascension journey and to inspire us forward. So, Elfian Animal Healer, Divine Masculine, because I'm also feeling a Divine Feminine Elemental of Fire, because I have a candle going, so I'm also feeling that on this side, but we're just gonna stick with the Salamanders today. Maybe if there is time and the elemental of fire that feels like she has a message wants to come through, we'll let her through, but we'll start with the Salamander. So Divine Masculine, Elfian Animal Healer of the Salamanders, who works with their group soul. When I have safely stepped back, you may step forth and deliver messages to the collective. Hello. We had to give our communicator a little warning about being ready, because we can be excitable, as can even the Earthian, Elfian elementals of the fire, and maybe they won't come through because too much excitableness for the communicator to handle in one go. I am an Elfian Animal Healer, Divine Masculine, that works with the Salamanders, and Salamanders are very, very excitable spirits. They have so much exciting things to share, but we'll try and slow it down for you all, because it's all coming through faster than the human mouth can move. So first and foremost, fire. We're going to talk about the two different types of fire, the cosmic fire and the physical fire. And then, well, I guess the third, the inner fire. So first, the physical fire in the earthly plane, which I will not do the attempt of using the communicator to reach anything related to fire, because be safe with fire. It is still, as it is, it is a cleanser, but also can be dangerous, so please be careful with fire in general. Don't set fires on purpose, humans, because that really does damage the beautiful earth. And there are a lot of purposeful fires being disguised as natural fires, and it is important to be wary of that in this upcoming year. Be very wary, and please stop setting purposeful fires for your own human desires, because it is causing a damaging relationship to the rhythm of humans and animals, and humans and Mother Nature, and just please stop doing that. Please, because it is something that is causing a detrimental impact to the rhythm and balance of the harmonious relationships in the physical plane. So of a warning, just start to accept the way that the world is, and don't try and set it on fire for your own self-interests. Now, Physical fire. Physical fire, that can be used as a cleanser in practices. So you can use it to ignite the air element, igniting the smoke of sage, palo santo, incense. It can be used to be that representation of the action by lighting candles. It can be used for cleansing. Fire in its nature is a cleanser. The most well-known flame is the violet flame, and this is a higher light frequency that is an energetic cleanser, as well as the flame of truth that looks more like how physical fire would look. And the flame of truth is also a cosmic fire. That is this non-physical, non-tangible fire, but has the energy of fire. So it will help cleanse things. Fire is cleansing, and it is also a symbol of action and protection. So you can use fire as a protection. When you light fire, you can set the intention, dear fire, please protect this space. Please elevate the energy of this space. Remove all negativity. Remove all fear. Remove all doubt that doesn't belong here, and protect the energy of this space with the support of the Guardians of the Veil and the Guardians of Sacred Spaces, because fire is a sacred energy that can help you connect beyond the veil. And the cosmic fire is, of course, an energetic cleanser. It is something that can help bring you into alignment energetically and can help remove negative and stagnant energy, and can also help elevate your frequency. The flame of truth, very powerful for allowing truth to find you. And don't be upset at what happens when you call on the flame of truth, because sometimes what you think the truth is not the truth, and then you call on the flame of truth, and the flame of truth brings you the truth, but you don't like it because it doesn't align with what you want, but it aligns with what you need. So accept what you need and accept that truth that flows through when you call on the flame of truth. Very, very important to note. And the third flame is your inner fire. Let's take a few deep breaths with me now. In and out. In and out. In and out. Perfect. So, your inner fire is your energy. It's your solar plexus. It is your energy as a soul. It is your purpose. It is your zest for life. It is your spark. It's your inspiration. It's your spark. Your spark is what motivates you. So this is very, very, very important, because your mission, so mission is different tasks that you do in each lifetime related to your initial purpose or your secondary purpose. If you completed your initial purpose, that thing that keeps you reincarnating in multiple lifetimes until you complete it, because it's not something that you complete in only one incarnation. You will have different incarnations unless you have, incarnated in a different star system and, coming into this star system for a different reason. And obviously there are exceptions to the rule, but we're not going to talk about the exceptions. We're going to talk about, of course, the thing that applies to most of you, which is you're not going to complete your purpose in one incarnation. And there are no souls incarnating now who it's their first time incarnating. Now, are there souls it's their first time incarnating in this reality space? Sure, but not their first time incarnating. There are no new incarnating souls, so all of you have incarnated before and who are incarnating multiple times to complete a purpose, whether it's your initial purpose or your secondary purpose. That is dependent on your own journey, and you are working on missions, so that spark is what helps motivate you to do the missions that ultimately motivate you to complete that purpose, which is your reason for incarnating. So this is all related to keeping the, the balance of the energy and space, because when the whole universe was created, negative energy was this untethered thing that was causing havoc to the universe. So it had to be tethered to something, and it's tethered to the earth, and you as humans and beings of life incarnate to help the evolution and to hopefully help transmute that negative energy into something positive so it doesn't wreak havoc on light. So that is important to note. So the Salamander Group Soul is very, very fun, because they're very, very excitable, and they move with like a certain rhythm to them, and they're very fun. They're very fun because they when they know something, they know something. It's like when they follow their instincts. They're very instinctual, and they're very beautiful in their own ways, and they express a lot of the makeup of the cosmos and like the way that they look. So like on their patterns, like their different colors, in a similar way to chameleons, but a little bit differently, because chameleons, the way that they change color is related to something else, which will have the communicator channel in the future. But for salamanders, it's like they have like an imprint on their physical body of different like star systems, star things, and soul marks are manifesting on their physical form, and there's like messages on the marks of their physical form, which is really, really fascinating. If you ever come across one, look into the patterns on their physical form, because they can help reveal things to you. And they're very, very fascinating because they carry this spark within them. It's like the spark of the universe is within their group soul. And it's a different thing than inspiration. Inspiration isn't necessarily the spark. The spark is something different. The spark is something more. It's this inner fire that you cultivate within you that's not coming from another, realm. Like we offer like your soul's truest inspiration, that seed of inspiration that inspires you, but that's not that spark of energy that motivates you. Inspiration and motivation are two completely different things. Motivation helps you follow your inspirations, and when you're inspired, you seek motivation, but it's not the same thing. So that spark is your motivation, and salamanders work with that motivation. And that's why they work with fire, because fire is related to action, and action is that motivation. You gotta have motivation to make action. So, something that you should know right now in this current space and time is that it is time to take action. So we're having the communicator have this come out right after the summer solstice. So this will be coming out after the summer solstice has already occurred. And that being said, you're in the summer season, meaning you're in the season of summer. And that is why the infinite wisdom of the salamanders is coming through at this specific space and time, because you're in a test of free will. Don't forget the test of free will that you are all in. That was channeled by our communicator in the beginning of your human month of May. You are in a test of free will. So that free will means taking action for the highest good of all. So salamanders work for that message of the highest good of all. So their big message is following that spark, following that motivation of that inner fire that connects you to the higher properties of the earthly fire and the spiritual fire, the cosmic fire, balancing the heavens and the earth. Your divine feminine and the cosmos, and your divine masculine and the physical. Balancing that energy, the divine paternal that is in the cosmos, and the divine maternal that is in the physical. Balancing that energy. And yes, the divine feminine is more so related to the cosmos, and the divine masculine more so to the physical, whereas paternal is more so to the cosmos, and maternal is more so to the physical. And that is just that like duality balancing act where you all carry those energies within you, and that duality balancing act that is going on energetically is a sign of your own divinity of balance within you, and that harmony of carrying both energies together. And when you bridge them together, you get that inner fire within you that is a culmination of the maternal frequency and the paternal frequency coming together and bringing balance of grounding and enlightenment, and the masculine and the feminine frequency coming together, bridging together to bring that balance for enlightenment and understanding of oneself in that inner fire. So those energies are not like the way that you humans perceive those energies. It's a little bit differently, and everyone carries all four of those energies, and that's important to know. That's something that the Salamander Group Soul works with, is like that understanding, that bridging of those things to that inner fire within you, that motivation, that spark that comes when you integrate all parts of yourself and you don't avoid parts of yourself. You acknowledge all of who you are. And something that's important to note, and we're about to say this, and the communicator has not come to terms with this, so we're hoping she's going to come to terms with this when we say this message. Otherwise, we're going to have to work with her on this, because anything that she channels from us is something that she's got to deal with too, even if she hasn't already. So when you attract people into your life that don't acknowledge harm that they cause to you, it's because you're not acknowledging a part of yourself. So then you're seeking acknowledgement from them for them to acknowledge that they hurt you, but they're not going to do that because you are showing energetically that you don't believe acknowledgement is worthy, that you don't believe you're worthy of acknowledgement. You don't believe that because you don't acknowledge all of who you are. So you shut down. And typically, a lot of you humans, when you're as an individual and you're in your alone time in your private space, you acknowledge all of who you are. But it's when you go out around people and you get worried about judgment, or you start dating somebody and you stop paying attention to all of who you are, so then you start neglecting parts of who you are. And then those people who don't have your best interests at heart, who hurt you and then don't take accountability and don't acknowledge the pain that they caused to you, because you stopped acknowledging who you were. You stopped acknowledging and taking accountability of yourself. You started forgetting your worth, your truth, and started honoring theirs instead. And so then they believed that theirs was more valuable than yours. So then they're not going to take accountability for the things that they did to you, because they don't see that you value you. They see that you value them. And so because you value them, they're not going to take accountability or acknowledge or apologize for the wrong they did to you, because you value them more. So they say you as part of them. So they don't see what they did to you as something wrong, because you were giving all your energy to them like you're a part of them. So they don't think that they would do something wrong to a part of themselves. Understand this. So don't seek acknowledgement and accountability from people who aren't willing to give it to you. If you're not willing to give that to yourself, if you're not willing to sit down and be like, hey, I was not honoring myself. I was not honoring my inner spark. I was letting my light be dimmed. The Salamanders work with that light where you're glowing, your spark, your glow, your shine, your light, your inner fire. And when you let someone snuff that light out and you start not acknowledging it, then you get put in situations where you get hurt and nobody takes accountability for that wrong done to you, because you gave all your energy to them. You became an extension of them. So they don't see what they did as wrong, because they don't think they did something wrong to themselves. So they are putting themselves first and not acknowledging you, because they're just seeing you as an extension of them, not a different individual. So they're not going to take accountability. They're not. Not until you start having your individuality, that spark, that individuality, and still until you start honoring that individuality, that you are a different human being. You are not just an extension of them. You are not becoming an extension of them and taking on their burdens and taking on their pain and not living your life. If you start living your life for them, you become an extension of them. If you start living your life for somebody else, whether that's a romantic partner, a friend, a family member, a boss, where you are living your life for them, you become an extension of them. So anything wrong that they do to you, they're not going to see that as wrong, because energetically, you've become a part of them. And you're attached to them. And you feel attached to them, even if you're not consciously doing it. But because when you make your life revolve around somebody else, you become a part of them, a part of their life. Your life doesn't matter. So then when they treat you like your life doesn't matter because you are not actually honoring your life, and you're like, well, why won't they acknowledge that I have a life? Well, are you acknowledging that you have a life? Are you respecting that? Oftentimes the answer is no. That's why boundaries are so important. Compassionate, respectful boundaries. But for you to have people who will acknowledge and take accountability for things that they do wrong to you, you must be your own individual person. And allow your spark to shine just as bright as somebody else's. This is something important to know, because this comes with a test of free will. And it's time to start exercising your free will to be that independent individual. Now, some people have a tune in with energy and negatively manipulate this concept that I just spoke of, where they know that if somebody is able to give them all their time and become, like, if somebody knows and they're manipulative of, like, I can make this person make me the center of their world so that they don't acknowledge their spark, and they become an extension of me, and they are all mine to use and abuse, and I don't feel bad about it, because they're an extension of me now. And then you start feeling, oh no, what's happening? Why are they treating me this way? Why are they walking all over me? I don't feel like I have a life anymore. What's going on? I feel suffocated. And someone knows how to manipulate that energy, and they start making you be the one who's doing all the heavy lifting, where you become that part of them that's doing the difficult work of trying to keep everything together, while they can just sit back and do nothing except control. Some people know how to manipulate this. This is manipulation, this is control. Those people, the more that you allow them to do this, the more that they're going to believe that it's okay. So actually, something important to say is, when you walk away from someone who's manipulative, from someone who's controlling, when you give up, trying to save them, trying to help them, on the fact that they'll change, and you let go, you're actually helping them. Because they need to know that it's not normal to behave that way. It's not okay to behave that way. And they need to know how to sustain their own energy within themselves. And this is a lesson, free will. And so there's a big clash of the controller and the controllee, and the balance in between going on right now related to that inner fire. Be mindful of your actions in both ways. Don't monopolize situations, and don't let yourself be monopolized. It's important that each individual person is able to cultivate their inner fire themselves. See how we had our communicator sitting and we're fixing it? Cultivate that inner fire yourself. Sit tall. Cultivate that inner fire. The more that you acknowledge that and you rise like the rising kundalini. The rising kundalini is obviously related to snakes. In your modern reality, you see that rising kundalini as a snake energy. And that's true, in a way. But salamanders actually can have a representation of that rising kundalini in a different way. And it's that reminding of your inner fire where it's not like it's something spiraling within you, but it's something rising, coming up and out, like a fire. So, rising kundalini is related to the snakes, but the snakes are more cleansers of the earth, so that's why they have that rising kundalini association. But salamanders also work with the rising kundalini because of the fire of the rising energy, the flowing energy. And it's time that you rise in your spark, your motivation, your truth, because fire is equivalent to the frequency of truth. Thank you. So before we conclude, thank you, they felt done. Do we have feeling that elemental? No. She's saying that he said enough. The Elfian Animal Healers said enough. So, that being said, I'm feeling some call towards the chameleons. So maybe the next animal video will be related to the chameleons. But I know that the next video is the sunflowers. So I will see you then. I believe in the right order will be the salamanders, the sunflowers. We're finishing the salamanders. Salamanders have honestly, I didn't think they had a very, strong energy. I don't really think about them often, but maybe it's because sometimes I don't acknowledge my inner fire. So now that I am, I'm feeling them a little bit more. Next is the sunflowers and connecting to the divine with the help of the sunflowers. So that's coming up next week, and I will see you then. Until then, sending you love, light, and inspiration. Stay inspired.